today I'm going to talk a little bit about if Facebook allows me to talk about it. We're on a mountain, guys. It's somewhere, it's nowhere, and we're in it, and we're on it, and we're on Mystic Mountain. Welcome to the show. You gotta look at that. That had seen better days. Excuse me. I don't have my glasses on today because I was looking at myself all night. I'm going to show you. It looked like I'm about to. It looked like I'm Ted Kaczynski. I'm about to get on here and talk about the Industrial Revolution has been a total disaster for Western civilization. It's like, shut up, boy. It's like, shut up, boy. It's like, shut up with that mess. I don't have my turban of a toboggan on today. It wasn't quite cold enough, and the camera, I have to hold it because I am about to read things to you, and I'm gonna improv in the middle of that. But I wanted to give you some good content. Sorry, that's a close up of my face. All right, so today I'm at some point going to talk about channeling and try to get enlightened. You know, the first job of a mystic, guys, is realize that before mystic I am, and that means before you put that on, that ain't you. That's just a costume you're wearing, and so. So whenever I say Kurt the Mystic, it's even before what's before the Mystic. Before Kurt, I am. So I know. In this day and age, you'd think we would have had the truth revealed to us, even though it already was. Everybody wants you to emulate Jesus until you emulate Jesus. And it's not even emulating Jesus; it's a fact. But I'm not making friends in the Christian camp, and we're using the same source material. The difference is someone told you what to think it means, and I just read it and prayed, and it was told to me. Try it sometimes, you'll like it. It's called free thinking, and God gave us free will. And if you mess up in life, well, I messed up. Everyone messed up. Is anyone here perfect? Right? You can't learn how to do better until you do worse. Fortunately, that's how it works. So I want to go over something real quick, and essentially today, I was talking about yesterday a little bit about how I like Celine Dion and Pat Benatar. You know, it's funny, Pat Penastar. Anyways, and so today I did an experiment. And today's experiment was, since I was listening to them and I'm going way up here, what would happen if I turned on some man music, some male energy music? And male here doesn't correlate to man. I just made that reference. It's a little joke for inside joke. So I put on like some... just like I said yesterday, but today I listened to that. And I realized my writing, and if you look, I'm cursing in it. It's coming across as more aggressive and more forceful and more dominating. And I had to turn the other music on too to balance that out at some point. But I have to do it to understand it and reach it and learn it. And so the energy does change. And something funny, if you can vibrate wherever a chakra is on your body, say you bump your stomach into something, you probably gonna start thinking thoughts that correlate to that chakra. And and so I got pretty much into the man aspect of my existence. Today, I stepped out of the more feminine version. I'd say woman aspect. It technically can be like that, but feminine is a better term for energy than, because look at me. I'm not a woman, and I say look at me, but it's not me you're seeing. You're seeing a body. I'm just like you. I'm the spirit inside of this thing, and there's a process to go through to step into that spirit and get out of the ego, which I'm going to talk about a little bit today. So let me read what I wrote before I just give you the. I really should practice just keep talking, but let's do this because I got more information here. The ego is like a math problem. 2 plus 2 equals 4. So this is how it goes. How you are expressed to the outside world is this. How you express yourself is like this. You have lived, and in the process of life, as we all know, you have gained different experiences, whether good or bad, or traumatic, or painful, or enjoyment, or joy, or whatever. You gain some experience in those, and some people like to think of this as what they call karma, but I don't know about all of that. We're not here to discuss religious. I'm lying. Yeah, we're going to talk about that a little bit later because it needs to be said. But okay, so I'm not here to talk about like the fundamental idea, like sins and karma and things of that nature. Today we're not talking about that. This is a single wide trailer. This ain't a church. This ain't a building. And I know a church is the gathering and the group of people. I understand. But everyone know when you say church, they know you're talking about that building too, even though the building ain't it. So bear with me. We all have to get over our autism at some point. We got to make great strides. Some people like to think of these traumas and things, these experiences that are in different parts of the body as karma, but I don't know about all of that. I'm just here to try to put this into a logical, scientific way. So depending on where those experiences and memories and thoughts are stored, results in your energy being there. And your energy, because energy is a lot like water, it can be in different places. You can be maybe 40% of whatever the capacity of energy you have might be up here in the ajna, in the third eye. Maybe up here in the crown. Look at me. I look more like a crazy prophet every day. Look like Floki from Vikings. All right, anyways, maybe it's in the crown chakra. Maybe it's in the throat chakra underneath this fir tree and pine tree of a beard I have. What a magnificent looking beard. Maybe in the heart. Maybe in the brain work. Anyways, the stomach chakra, and I'm not going to do anything vulgar on the camera. I could point down. I could do the thing we did when I was a kid when we watched wrestling. We'd go, oh, that Triple H thing. I think that one, I can't remember. I forget lots of things every day. So some people like to think of it as karma. So, depending on where those experiences and memories and thoughts are stored, results in your energy being there, as I just explained. So what happens in simple terms is if you have some of your energy down low and some up high, as represented by the chakra system that I just represented to you, you will thus express yourself to that type of personality, which can be represented by a frequency. I'm sure there's more to it than that, but I'm giving you the basic rundown. Thus, channeling is all about control of your energy. You practice putting it in different places, maybe through meditation or maybe through focus and concentration, and the result is a frequency. And thus, you can express yourself in a controlled way as opposed to this random guessing game we all have been playing. This is about intentional living. This is part of it. So you could, if you wanted to, and some people might have, all kinds of people doing this on the internet, you could go, well, this one, put a third eye, plus the throat, plus a little bit of the creative energy from down there, and you put your energy in those three. Maybe put them in just one. That's probably not a great idea, but you do you. And you're there, and then it produces a frequency. You get on that. You start to channel the frequency, and you start to act and behave like that. Yeah. And so part of this is liberation and freedom is realizing that you have to wake up though first. You have to yeah. In my head, the words enlightenment and liberation mean the same, but I think they're technically different. It doesn't matter because thinking is for the mind. The mind can't grasp all of this. This is the best I can put it in. The mind can't, but I can. I think I'm doing a pretty good job explaining these things that can't be put into words. They say, well, once you do that, you don't got it. You still got it. Don't be afraid. Now, maybe the people who say that, they couldn't. They're afraid to put it there, but I'm not scared. All right. Once you figure out how to get it, you just get it back again, man. What's wrong with you? So liberated if you're afraid to lose something. And so, sorry, I got a kink in my neck there. And so that's how frequency works. Now I'm going to mention something. If you hear like ringing, that high pitched noise, but it doesn't hurt and it just comes and goes, never hurts, nothing hurts in there, no mechanical or hardware problems, but you hear it in there, and sometimes you hear it in here. Well, I'm gonna give you a pro tip. The Bible talks about it. I'm not gonna quote scripture at you, but it's in there. They talk about ear ringing, and you'll hear things like that. In your left ear means something is coming in to because the left side of your body is like the take side, and the right side of your body is the give side. So negative and positive, plus, minus. On camera it might have looked backwards, but it's the left and the right. The left is the minus, and the right is the positive. If you're looking at a car battery for a reference, probably not the greatest one, but you do whatever you got to do. That's what I do. So you got a left, and this means that something's come into your field around you. Basically, everything has a magnetic field. These bananas that look delicious have a field. Your heart produces a field. It's not, it's as it is. It comes in here. That means something has come in. If you hear that noise here, if you hear it in this one, that means something is leaving or coming out or whatever. And you can hear them both at the same time. I don't fully understand that, and they can mean other things too. There's a million videos on YouTube. That's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm trying to give you a basic rundown today. So, while channeling can be completely up to you, and you don't have to channel spirits and things, but they're always around us, okay? This planet is millions of years old. Energy left behind signatures and memories, and even beyond that. There's good spirits, angels, there's evil spirits, demons, and people. If they were crabby people alive, there's a chance that they didn't pass on. And they're going to be crabby people who like to play pranks on people, and maybe sometimes worse, maybe try to get you to do something you don't need. You start having these evil thoughts flashing on and off in your head, and they won't leave you alone. Some people act on them. It's like, ew, why? And so you got to figure out if everything's clean in here before you start looking out here for spirits. You want to make sure that ain't a result of whatever. I'm not a psychologist. I'm a healer. All right, I'm a healer. I'm a word-wielding spiritual warrior. All right. So, I don't give medical advice. I think that everyone looking at me right now would never ask me about medical advice. Okay. All right. I'm not a doctor. Don't ask me about all that stuff. I'm just telling you about energy. So something comes in left, we hear that buzzing noise, something comes out. I was door dashing the other day, and I knocked on someone's door, and they came to the door, and the minute that I left, this ear started going crazy. And the man, he kind of had like it wasn't mean, but you could tell he wasn't at peace. He had that vibe to him. All right? You can't judge someone based off the vibe. You have to determine the contents of that vibe, or else you're going to come to judgments, and you're going to get to know them. All right, we're gonna learn today though how we can solve a spiritual problem. So you might be wondering, why won't the spirit wake up inside of you? You're hearing about all spiritual awakening. My spirit woke up. You might be hearing the Holy Spirit woke up. You might be hearing the Kundalini woke up. You might be hearing all kinds of manner of things. I felt this thing shoot through the bottom of my back all the way to the top of my head, hit the back of my head on the inside, ricocheted off and slammed into the top of it. And now I feel energy just going straight up. That's the process. Now, you got to work through some blockages. When it wakes up, you'll feel it vibrating in you, and it's awake, and you got to get rid of some things and do some practicing. Mine didn't wake up until I shut the hell up. I could sit there in silence, and then when I did, the energy that was in my throat that wanted to come out as words, it was just building, and eventually it just went zzz, and it went straight through there, and it started making passages. And when it could do that, it woke up. I felt it. It felt like at the base of my spine like that. And I was like, okay, I know this is going to move a little bit. Nope, this time it felt like a... And I didn't feel it till it hit there. Bounced off in there. And it's up here now. It made a nest. It's the Holy Spirit. Our Hindu friends call it Kundalini. Sorry. People say, well, Jesus didn't know Hindus and Buddhists. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He didn't have to go all the way over there. Guess what? They had a Silk Road. They were coming through Jerusalem. Religion has become twisted. Back then, yeah, they had the law of Moses and they had to follow it. But back then, they were discussing ideas with all of these different religions. I mean, there's a story that, I can't remember who it was, but it was a Greek or a Roman guy. And he came into the temple. They used to let anybody just come in there, whether they were Jew or not, and sacrifice. The guy sacrificed the Thor right in front of them, and they did get angry because that was a no-no. They said that we're tolerant of you, but we got rules and boundaries. If you violate them and cross them, we're not going to be so tolerant of you. And, but yeah. So, you might be wondering, why won't the spirit wake up inside of me? Does it wake me up inside? Allow me to answer that question, beloved, because the spirit cannot wake up till you let go. Until you let go, the spirit cannot come on. You have to let go of its eyelids so that they can open. If you never let it go, how can it move? If you don't stop holding on to it, how can it leave? You got to get all this resistance out of the way, or the spirit simply cannot move through you. Well, what is resistance inside of you? Resistance is blockages, and they come in many forms, shapes, and sizes, but they are essentially traumas, pains, stresses, and things of that nature. So how do they get stuck? Well, an electrical circuit typically consists of power going in, an input, and power returning back to the source of the input. This is called an output, but we're going to call it a ground, and the process is known as grounding. If you can ground yourself and anyone else, you can release every bit of everything if you are willing to acknowledge it, be aware of it, spend time with it, and invite it out of the dark and into the light. But you can never do that if you are afraid and you flinch at it and tense up at it, because thoughts are fickle. They're just as afraid as you. Any slight movement scares them away. It makes them vanish into thin air right inside of you. If you ask me, well, how can they vanish into thin air if they're inside of me? Go inside to the shrine marked imagination and knock on that big old door, and then you can raid the Holy Land inside of yourself and cast out all the resistances so that you can liberate the ground, and all of your energy will be able to move through you and out of you as long as you don't grab on and hold it in place. You gotta ground yourself if you're anxious and shaky. If you're like that, you got too much energy flowing through you for whatever reason. Only you can answer that question. The question of Why is it there? But the answer to how to get rid of it is grounding. And once you have gotten all the old energy to move out of you, typically up and down the spine, but could be anywhere in the body, you will have effectively prepared the way for the Lord. And you can get the Spirit to move through you in many ways. There are many options to growing and moving closer to God. And you might be saying, well, that's sacrilegious, that's blasphemy. And God will tell you what he told Moses. He'll say, Moses, shut up. They worship me with their sweet blasphemy, because I don't hear the words, I hear the content of the heart, because I know hearts and minds, not words. And you might say, well, why do you tell us that? And you say you read the Bible and the gospel all the time. Are you supposed to be a Christian? I'm liberated. I'm free. All right? Jesus paid the price so we could walk in freedom, not so we could shackle ourselves to pews and play a game. This is the deal. This is the deal. This is the deal. You got the truth, all right? And the truth is this. I could not get anything else to work. Churches will sit there and tell you, just pray, just pray, just pray. And they'll jump in their Cadillac Escalades and drive off into the sunset with bags of money, as they say, just pray, just pray, just pray. Keep putting money in my pocket. Shysters. Shysters. No one harasses them. It's only people who have a different idea. People are afraid because they're afraid of being wrong. And guess what? At the end of the day, it's not them that's afraid. That's not who they are. That fear is connected to something covering up who they are. And go inside of yourself and liberate yourself. You'll feel better. You'll feel better. What could be wrong with that? Go feel better. But all these things I talk about, I've tested them, and I've experienced them, and I've spent a long time researching them, and a long time meditating on them, and a long time philosophizing about them, and all kinds of things. And it's so, or I wouldn't say it. I'm about to get into it, but I'm going to tell you something. And that's going to go over what I'm about to read next, but I'm going to give you this before I begin. You cannot understand how another person is because you are not that person as they are, because they're tied. Everyone's gone through something, got fears and all kinds of things that shut them off from who they are underneath all of that. That's what before your name I am means. You want to throw rocks at me and you want to stick your nose in the air? You do the same thing the Pharisees and everyone did to Jesus when they were alive. And, he just told them the truth. He told us the truth. It says it. And all them words in the Bible have been just one simple word gets altered, and it can throw you into confusion. And unfortunately, a lot of people are being taken advantage of. Keep them in pews. Keep them throwing money at the whore of a pastor. Because the whore of a pastor is scared that he's not going to be able to keep milking innocent people for money. That's disgusting. Real disgusting. If you think I look vicious, you ain't read the Old Testament and met my father. That's that male energy I was talking about. I'm sitting there talking, I was running and I went down. That's what I'm talking about. You breathe, it comes back up to where you normally are, and you can raise it, the reference point, up and down. And some people stay way down there all the time, and they're grumpy and angry and they're fierce all the time. Some people are up here and they're just disconnected, and then you want to be balanced, man. But you want to gain that control so that if you want to go off into wherever you can, and if you need to go down here to exercise or do some physical labor, you can. So it's like that. I did the voice. I did that on purpose. All right, so Oh yeah, I told you. I told you I was in that. I told you I was in that man energy today. I'm looking for a fight tonight. Talking about Old Testament God is gonna get you. All right, so you can't really understand nobody as they are out of their natural state before the things put on them, because people have things dumped on them nowadays. Not everyone's on a spiritual journey trying to say, I want to become liberated and enlightened. They're content. Leave them alone. They're not asking for freedom. Leave them alone. Show them what freedom looks like through content and whatever. And if they say that looks interesting, don't. I'm not gonna ruin the fun for you. All right. I'm just not. That would ruin the cosmic joke. All right. Jokes are rooted in tragedy, but they're also very, 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 very enticing by the time you hear them. And so this thing beeps at me. It knocks my concentration off my laptop. That's why I keep pausing, because it's like beep, and then I have to regain focus. Sorry. So, because people cannot know each other out of the natural state, the bare bones state, we have to we project ourselves onto people, because we can only really understand how we are in that moment unless we train and practice and gain a skill. But most people can only really project who they are onto other people and judge that. Well, guess what? You judging you and nobody else. That's called a mirror. So if you got a problem with anything someone's saying, it's not inside of them. It's you. It's you. It's in you. It's in you. I've seen people, I don't curse too much, but I'm going to tell you the truth. If I have to make a point, I'm going to curse. If I have to remind everybody that holy men can throw curse words out there to show you that we ain't no more better than you or anyone else, because we all in this together, I'll do it, because we need to be reminded that none are greater than any other. We are all equal. And the minute we forget that, we start having problems with people having egos. And egos are the worst kind of rulers to have, because they don't care about you or nobody else. They only care about thank you for all your likes. Thank you. It's the Lord's likes, because the Spirit is pretty much going through here. But thank you. And I do like being the conductor. Never, ever, ever question that. I'm always willing, Lord. Where the Old Testament prophets told you, hell no, I tell you, hell yeah. I tell you, we going to light up the night. I am quite the exorcist. I get excited when things bump in the night. I say, round one, let's get it on. I love it. It excites me with no. You would never understand how much I love a mystery. So, anyways, so on this side of the field, I've explained the mirror effect. That's what I was trying to get across before I began. On this side of the field, in the Western world, we do have all manners of beliefs in America, but the majority is Christians, last time I checked. So we're going to discuss them today, because no one else is having this problem. So I have come to heal. Prepare to be healed. On this side of the field, we have Christians. There's nothing wrong with Christianity, except how it's being run. They aren't telling people the truth, and at the same time they're saying everyone else is a liar. Well, that's a mirror effect. That means you're a liar if you're saying it to somebody. Here's a rule of thumb. Here's a pro tip, my brothers and sisters, my dearly beloved. You can't know what someone else is feeling or thinking as a matter of fact. You can really only project yourself onto others because the untrained and the unawakened and the unknowledgeable, which, let's face it, is the majority of people practicing Christianity, because their leaders do not know anything spiritual. And yes, I can blame it on their leaders, because they chose to say, well, this is a spiritual practice, even though it's a religion I follow to get to the same place, to get to the kingdom of heaven in this case. And the leaders said, well, just put your faith in us and we'll take you by the hand and get you there. And the leaders don't even know where the hell it is. So the Christians, because their leaders do not know anything spiritual, the leaders, they are just like the Pharisees of Jesus' time. And the Pharisees didn't understand anything spiritual either. If they did, they hid it from the general public, and they wouldn't reveal it to anyone but themselves. They couldn't stand Jesus because he was telling all the secrets. He was showing people how simple it was. They had a problem with their egos, and their energy was trapped down probably around the gonads and their stomachs, but not too far in their stomachs, because then they could have figured out that they could create all kinds of things, but they still couldn't have unless they got their energy to come up to their heart. When you have emotional blockages, they're typically the result of fight or flight situations. All right, well, anything like that drags you straight down to your lowest energy center or chakra. So when you get down there, unless you work through what puts you there and you deal with it and get it to clear out, it traps you down there for as long as it remains, because energy cannot be created or destroyed. So you have to clear it. Like I said, grounding. You stand on the earth with your shoes off, bury your feet in the ground, and you just sit there. And your thoughts come up. Don't flinch at them. Don't get scared at them. In my home, there's a large table with many places to sit. And all my guests of honor are welcome at my table. And my guests of honor are people sometimes. Sometimes they're thoughts. Sometimes they're emotions. Sometimes they're memories. But they're welcome at the table. And sometimes they surprise me with their arrival. And I flinch at them, and then I say, breathe, breathe, breathe. What got touched on the temple that triggered that? What word did you hear? Just say it. Just tap. Tap what did it. Get it to come back. Vibrate the energy loose. So, I'm going to read to you a few other things I wrote, and then we're going to call it a night. We cannot force others to see our way. That is what starts the trigger of both government and religion. That is where control begins, and soon follows deception and manipulation that spreads through a nation. It separates us not only from God, but from ourselves, and by extension, each other. Having faith and trusting God are like backing into a road from a parking space. Hold on, I'll show you guys a picture. Having faith and trusting God are like backing into a road from a parking space. You just have to trust and have faith that you'll get on the road safely. Because I couldn't see around there when I took that picture. Alright, so let's see what else we got I can read to you guys. Thou shalt fall and then rise. Thou shalt die and then live. Thou shalt sleep and then awaken. Thou shalt hate and then love. And then I said, don't expect me to make accommodations for you. I usually use the word you. This is a secret I shouldn't tell y'all. The magic trick and whatnot, right? So don't expect, when I say like you in a lot of my writings, it's to talk directly to each person while I'm talking to all people involved, right? Because the way I talk is us can mean a room full of people instead of just the one person I'm talking to, or we can mean just like everybody, even if I'm only doing with something by myself. Well, we gonna go to the shop and work on a car, and I say it in front of people, and they think I'm including them, and I'm really just talking to myself. And when I say you, it's usually indicating everybody equally, even people who aren't there to hear it. So, but you is magic. It goes straight at you, doesn't it? So don't expect me to make accommodations for you. I may choose to make an accommodation for you if you ask me and give me the chance to make a choice. However, I do not owe you an accommodation or an expectation. If you want to make an accommodation, then go inside of yourself and evict what oppresses and holds you down to seeking from others what is rightfully yours inside of yourself, being held captive. Liberate, liberate, liberate. So, here's a creative one. I am the guardian at the gates of the kingdom of heaven. I will test you by speaking. If what I say offends you, jerks you, rattles you, or anything else, you cannot pass into heaven. Because what jerks you, irks you, and rattles you is inside of you, not in my words. They are a sign that you refuse to die and be born again, and thus I never knew you. Because had you met me when you died, you would have realized before all of that. That hurts and jerks and rattles you, I am, and so are you. Look into my blazing eyes as I tell you nothing but the truth. Who are we to only accept the blessings of God and reject the curses, says Job. Prepare to be healed, prepare to be cleansed, prepare to be purified, prepare to walk freely into the kingdom of God. That sounds prophetic. That's usually how they come out. This is a cursing alert. You've been warned. I'm not going to read that out loud yet. We will do that one day. But right now, you guys that are listening, I'm not going to blow your ears up with curses. All right? When I post something like that, like I was saying a minute ago, I'm going to remind you that it doesn't matter. We all dirty on the inside. We've got to get in there. I've still got some filth inside of me. I'm getting it out. It's a work. It's a great work. And it takes time. All right? So everybody's got something they got to get in there and get out. And the people who are acting like they don't stink at all and that darkness has never even known their name, they got skeletons. They got skeletons all inside of them. Leave them alone. Pray for them. You pray for them. Sick Jesus on them. He'd tell them like he told them in the desert, you will not tempt the Lord your God. Regardless of circumstance, situation, offering, hunger, you will not tempt the Lord your God. That's wild. Blue-eyed people. Listen, I know how my eyes look when that happens. Like, I'll be looking at my videos, watching them, and I'm like, why that look like Kenneth Copeland? What does that look like? And then somebody in the back said, cause y'all got that spirit in you. It's like, shut up. It's just blue-eyed people. We some wild-looking people. Like, we don't even supposed to be on this planet or something. We got off in the wrong neighborhood. We were supposed to go to, like, where there were flowers and meadows and things of that nature, and we were supposed to frolic and be so happy, and we got off at the wrong bus stop, and we can't get where we trying to go without getting out this body first. So then I wrote a little bit. If you're still with me this long and I haven't isolated you and scared you off, wow, you got the greatest potential of all. Truly, all the potential in the kingdom of God is inside of you. Now, I don't own this. I'm not going to play the clip, all right? You know the song. Bum, 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 bum. So that's the song linked to on YouTube, and what it corresponds to is this what I wrote about this song, because I love that song. It's the Rocky theme song. Everyone loves that song. I said, this is also my song. This one is about getting back up. When you've been slammed straight into the ground so hard your fall makes an earthquake happen. This one is called Unmatched, Unrivaled Determination. It's as loud as thunder and as encouraging as victory. It roars to us from up above as we lay beaten down and dying. Get back up, you bum. Fight, 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 fight like your life means something. I would yell it, but I don't know, guys. I don't like all that yelling. I mean, when I'm talking about it's yelling and roaring, I kind of feel like I have to do that. But y'all, I think y'all can use your imagination. This is another one. This is a song, Trevor Belmont versus Death theme. All right, that is awesome sounding. And I ain't gonna play it because I don't know about all this copyright crap, right? I'm not a lawyer. That's not my form of magic, right? Everybody loves the lawyer when they do magic. They just scream in terror whenever I do it. Behave. All right. All right, so this is my song. This is the song that summons real power. This is not just the faith to move a mountain, but the powerful raw strength and determination to pick it up bareback and barehanded. This is elevated supernatural strength. It is where heaven and hell collide. This is the balancing point where they meet. This is where they become one. This is the song of the ancient heroes that rose up in the face of all the armies of darkness in their entirety and slayed every devil in the way to glory. Such a good song. You ought to go look it up. I'll show you a picture of that. Yeah, there you go. That is incredible. All right, that's my kind of music. I got other songs I'm going to write a little description about, but these helped me through my awakening process here, my spiritual process. They help me, all right? Most people taking decades to get this over with. Let me tell you something. I'm very proud of my grandfather, my papa. I'm very proud of him. He was a damn warrior. He was a Korean War veteran. They told stories about him long after he died. They said Major was just never seen him. Just never seen someone like that would charge up a mountain with machine guns firing around them in a leadership position. He could have sent everyone else to go die, but he jumped up and he stormed the mountain. He stormed Korean mountains with machine gun fire blazing all around him, and they said that man loved every second of it. He wasn't scared of nothing. He was born to rule the battlefield. And ego death is like a mountain, and it is my honor to storm this mountain without fear, just like my papa stormed his mountains without fear. And it is great. People say it hurts, but I always think about my papa, and I always think about the spirit of the warrior, and I always think like Jesus said this: those who come after me, they'll do even greater. I'm not being shot at by bullets. That's not my fight. I wasn't called to stand on a battlefield on the earth. I was called to stand on the one you can't see. And I'll tell you something. There's a lot of inspiration I get from my grandfather. A great man. Great man. And it takes a whole lot of creative energy to bullcrap yourself and everyone around you. Be who you are under it all. That's where you are. Hear the voice that whispers, "Come find me," and go find the one speaking. Pro tip, they're inside of you. You'll find out. You'll find out soon enough. And next one. Now I'm going to irk a lot of people. I'm poking, jabbing the Christians, and they can poke and jab me a whole lot. I don't hide my flaws. I know my closet's got to be cleaned out, but I want to heal, so I'm yanking everything out of it. Because, baby, walking in freedom, walking in liberty, it's enough to make you cry. It's how beautiful it is. I can be whoever I want to be, and you can too, but we got to be free to make the choice to be. Jesus' sacrifice has been turned into an excuse not to change for too long. Too many are hiding from what awaits them in the darkness within themselves. I know this is so. I know this is true. If it weren't, I wouldn't be saying it. If it weren't true, everyone would be in union with me right now. We would have, or we would be experiencing everything I'm experiencing right now. But fear not, do not be afraid, for as one candle is lit, so too are many from its flame. And the life of the candle will not be shortened one bit, but many will begin from it. I'm going to give y'all a prayer. Now, I'm going to obviously say it with my eyes open, but that's okay because God hears us anyways. It helps a lot to close your eyes. I do close my eyes. I want to kind of show y'all how to put your hands, how I put them. Oh, look, I could have put this down the whole time. Okay, so this is how I do it. Of course, Facebook's going to give me the business. Facebook, I'm closed right now. No business. No business. All right, so normally I've found that this is how I like to pray, is just generally put your hands flat together like this, and you can take your hat off or whatever. That's when I pray up here. Sometimes I pray in front of my mouth, but I pray in front of my heart. And I'm going to give you all a little pro tip to how I do it. And there's really no wrong way to pray, but I found I have super good luck. Put your hands together so they start vibrating everything to your heart. And it opens the chakra in your heart, and it'll release the energy. This vibration is energy. You get energy going. Everything is energy. That's how you do it. And you could pray in front of here while you're doing it. If you crouch down and you crouch down on your knees, your whole body starts vibrating. There's a bunch of energy you're shaking loose out of yourself. And scare off the ladies like that, Tiger. so you do that, and you do this, and you just pray. Try to visualize what you're praying for, and you have faith, and you believe, and God will do the rest. You give him the ingredients, you make his job easy to do. There you go. And as long as you can stay down there, it's simple, direct, but the more you can vibrate, the longer you stay down there. Whenever you rise up, you say, Amen. That's how I pray. Everybody's got a little ritual. I'm not in the official club called Christianity, so I get to follow some different rules. They might disagree with that, but I disagree with them on many things. I disagree with them on their bull crappery. They think, look, Jesus done died for you. You're gonna make him do everything. You're gonna good grief. Don't you love Jesus? Don't you want the king to have a little break after what he endured? Like, he's just selfish. You think he's supposed to do everything for you? You might not be having like a hateful attitude going, yeah, you my servant, Jesus. You might not be doing that, but you're doing that. You're doing it in a different way. You're going, I don't have to lift a finger. Jesus does it for me. He's my personal get out of jail free card. He's my personal servant. All I got to do is say, hey, man, come here. That means you don't value him. You're using him. You love the Lord. You love the Lord. When you go down to the Walmart, you better learn how to look people in their eyes. You better practice it. There's your spiritual practice. Look others in the eyes. And not just look them in the eyes, but with a smile and love. And you greet them. Say, hey, how are you? Even if you don't know them. Hey, man, how are you? Yeah, cool. Have a good day, all right? That's all it takes. It's all it takes to change the world. It's a little bit of love. And that's what love is. And so pray this with me. I showed you how I pray. That's how I do it. And I have really, really, really fantastic success. Wink, wink. So pray this with me, and you will be set free. Before this beard, before these beliefs, before any and everyone, I am. I don't know who needs to hear it, but before these addictions and before these troubles, I am. Before these pains and before these traumas, I am. Before you, you are, and there you are. Before your name, I am. With love, I love you. Amen. Before Kurt, I am. But you don't have to say the next part. You weren't Kurt. So, and people are offended at this, and it makes them nervous because they love God. Well, Moses loved God, and you see now Moses ran things right. He ran them like codependency kind of love. And there's love in codependency, but it's not right. It's like a bastardized version. It's a perversion of the real deal. Jesus came and he put our feet in his hands, and he loved us. He showed us what God really was. Moses couldn't show us God. Moses could do many, many, many incredible miracles. He had faith. God empowered him and all the things. But Moses told everyone what God was like before Jesus was there, and Jesus came and set the record straight. There's a lot of people being beat down in the churches today. And Jesus spoke about that when you yell, "Ye sinners, you're a bunch of sinners. You ain't no good in this congregation. I'm sick of this church. Look at how y'all act." You're what Jesus spoke of when he said that they will hate you because you loved me. He's not talking to you, Mr. Moses. Your father is Moses. My father is Jesus. My father is the father of Jesus. And my father wasn't on no mountain breathing fire and yelling at people. I had to plug this up. My father was washing feet and loving us and teaching us how to be God. That's a fact. And so when people are yelling at people who genuinely want to know Jesus and want to know God, want to know themselves, they go to church thinking that they're going to find it, and too many times they encounter the hater. And he's got a whole brigade of hateful people, his Pharisees, and they're sitting there and they're saying nasty things to people who are hurt, and they don't even realize it. That's the problem, because they think, this is what I grew up with, this is how it's supposed to be. You're full of hate, you're nasty. You wash a dish on the outside and then shove food into a temple that is filthy. And then you have to stand up there and you think you're doing God's work by beating his children. Buddy, go beat somebody's child and find out what happens. And then you just remember that experience. And when you abuse God's children who came to you and they needed God, and you withheld it from them, or you in your ignorance because you really don't know God, he gonna look at you and say, "I don't know you. Get the Cracker Jack out of my house." And Jesus is loving, and Jesus did get frustrated, but it came from the right place. You're not going to turn my Father's house into a whorehouse over my dead body. And so if we want to see God, we look at Jesus, and Jesus will show us how to be God. You need the foundation, because if you don't have that, you don't walk the earth as the devil. And at the end of the day, you gotta bring the evil and the good together, because he said, "Before Abraham, I am." And that means think about that, and then go even further. Before Abraham, I am. Before I was even born, I am. I was the egg and the sperm that came together to form me. The Alpha and the Omega, the male and the female, come together, form me. And even before that, at the beginning of the cycle, Adam and Eve were allegedly the first ones there for exemplary purposes, at least. And they were there first. They ate the fruit, and then it kick-started it. So in theory, you go all the way back to the source. So before everything, I am. That's what it means. Now, I understand a lot of people are twisting the words around and trying to make it into some new age deal. And I don't know what to tell you, man. If you can be anything you want to be, are they wrong? Maybe in a lot of their weird ways that we don't agree with. But you know, even a clock whose battery is dead is right twice a day, right? So, you know. So, and it says, have you heard of silent monks before? Well, I'm a talking one. Nice to meet you. That's the opposite, because monks can all talk, apparently, and I'm the opposite. I talk nonstop. I'm a talking monk. That means that all kinds of things come out. I don't hide them from people. I ran to something safe and secure. Then I ran to something unsafe and unsecure. Then I realized it was me that I should have been running to the entire time. For Kurt, I am, with love. Amen. Christ is coming, Christ will be, Christ is near, consciousness is coming, consciousness will be, consciousness is near. And I think that that's all I've got to say for today. Yeah, for today. I got some things I have to record for you guys. Guys, I want to ask you guys if you would, anyone who's out there, can you guys, I'm going through a lot of changes and it has affected Dana a great deal. Everything that we have gone through in this life has drawn us to make a decision, and thus a result has been produced. And the accumulation of all of that is like an equal sign that leads to who we think we are, our egos or whatever. Mine's dying, guys, and I've tried to explain, and be as gentle as possible and as understanding as possible, and it's getting easier and easier every day, that I'm just not going to be who that ego is for like however long it takes. It's going to be gone. Most people are, like I said, taking decades, and as that goes by, they can replace old things with new things. I ripped the Band-Aid off. It's time to jumpstart this bad boy. All right? So, who knows? So, you guys, if you guys could, just pray for Dana. And pray for Carmen Gage. That's my friend. She's helping me out with a lot of this process. That's the oracle. Yeah, I think she's having a bad time right now too. It's like having a lot of mood swings and things too. That's part of it. And one minute you're stable, and then all of a sudden you're like, and you got to learn to balance, man. Like I had a lot of practice balancing, so I'm not really having that get angry energy and I'm real happy. Mine right now is I'm laughing, I'm drunk on the spirit wine, yeah. And then all of a sudden I'm like life is suffering. that's that good. And then a few minutes later, life is suffering. Yeah, it's one of them things, man. I forgive my parents, because I understand that it wasn't their fault that they were how they were. I think we can all do that. Every time I call them and I patch things up, if I stick around too long, they neglect their inner work, and it results in us having a falling out. I won't go back over there. I'll tell them, well, I've got to go now. I can't be around you because I'm supposed to honor, my mother and father. And the only way I can honor you is to stay away from you, because you guys need some work. You guys got some work to do. Y'all got to let go of it. Like I can see it. Like I don't want to drop other people's business. All right, I'll drop mine all day long, but I feel like I shouldn't drop other people's business. But they just need to do some inner work, like we all do, and I'll leave it at that. And they won't hear me whenever I try and say, hey, I noticed you do this, would you like to stop doing that? I can help you. And they just don't want no part of that. They want to, they go, how dare you? You're the child. I'm 36 years old. I don't, get out of here. I'm a grown man now. They'd see me as a little boy still. It's like, whatever. Keep it. I like it. I love God. I love Jesus. You don't know him, I would recommend him. True story. All right, so it's getting late. I'm getting woozy and whatnot. I want to go to sleep. All right, so I hope everything goes y'all's way. I might read some poems when I get my energy back up and everything, and things stabilize. But please pray for Dana, and please pray for my friend Carmen and the Oracle. Please pray for me. Yeah, do that. You know, if you wanna passive aggressively pray for me. Yeah, yeah. If you wanna say, Lord, shut that man's mouth. All prayers to God for someone else are good prayers. All right, so I gotta go. I'm very tired, and we're all right. I hope everything goes your way. Thanks for watching. I'll see you around.